Today on All Things 80s, we've got the grooviest toy from my childhood. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now, a couple of weeks back, I did a video where I unboxed some artifacts from my childhood. And within that box was this groovy looking tricycle. Now, I do remember as a child, this was a hand-me-down, so this is how I had it as a child. There was no rider and all the chrome had worn off. So I was interested to see what it really looked like when it was the complete article. So I found one, and we have it right here. So this is the full thing with rider, complete with chrome. So we're going to take a close look at this and just talk about how wonderful a toy this was. Now, recently I've been having difficulty with reading fine print, and I had to break down and get myself some reading glasses. So in order to tell you what it says on here, I have to wear these, which is somewhat embarrassing, but hey, that's middle age for you. So anyway, this is the Matchbox K47 Easy Rider Speed Kings. Now, I did some research and it transpires that this model was made from 1973 up until 1980. So I'm having to assume the one I had, which I mentioned was a hand-me-down, is probably one of the earliest versions. Although aside from the chrome being missing, it's actually identical to this. This one is missing the decals and obviously the rider. So we'll take a look at these close up. I'm just going to share with you some of the memories I have of this wonderful toy from my childhood. Okay, so starting out with my childhood original, which has definitely seen better days. Just holding it just bring back some great memories of this. And it's quite funny to think that I had a lot of pleasure with this toy, despite not being the complete deal and missing, of course, the rider. I'm already seeing here that my brakes had broken off. Obviously the chrome is all missing the decal here. Nevertheless, I had a lot of fun as a child playing with this. But now that we have the complete article, take a real close look at this. Now, first things first, the chrome on this one has held up remarkably well. It is showing a few signs of coming off, but you know, that can be expected. You know, this thing is well over 4 decades old, and quite possibly it is older than I am. But anyway, first things first, it's just the grooviest thing you've ever seen. This is classic 1970s. I mean, the bike itself just screams the 70s, but more so the rider. Now, I don't know how close if you can focus on this, but this guy is the coolest dude ever. He's got his shades, he's got a mullet, he's got big sideburns, he's got a tassel jacket. I mean, this is as groovy as it gets. Look, he's even got high-heeled boots and flares. This just screams the 70s. And I mentioned that mine was missing the decal, so we've got the flames on his gas tank there, which is really cool. Now, interestingly, he's been attached to the bike. He has little, I was going to say stirrups, but it's just a plastic clip that holds onto the, I guess it's part of the tailpipe. And he does have a nice hold of the handlebars there. But this figure is really cool, and he is articulated to a point. You know, you obviously cannot stand him up. Way out, man. But look at this. These tassels are really detailed all the way around the back. Look at the hair. It's like a layered mullet. But it's little little sideburns. They're huge sideburns there. You know, Easy Rider shades. Beautiful figure. Well made, actually. And there's the sort of connectors that attach themselves to the exhaust pipes. But yeah, this is fantastic. I just wished I had this as a child. This would have been so much fun to play around with. Now the bike itself, it's a really detailed model. This one does have the brakes, which are extremely fragile, so be careful with those. And where he was gripping, it has worn away the chrome, but that's okay. Now, the other thing to note about this bike is it's called a Speed Kings, and that wasn't just some throwaway marketing term. I'm going to show you in a second what we mean by Speed King. Now, I'm not sure if these rear wheels have some sort of ball bearing system, but this thing was fast. Obviously, I can't give you a full demo, but see how easily that rolls? If you had a flat, smooth surface, this thing would go for yards and yards, and eventually would, do skids and all sorts of cool things, which as a kid, we just loved to make our cars and our bikes do crazy stunts. We'd jump them over books and all sorts of things. Now, I'm thinking if it would be possible to refurbish mine, but I don't believe this can be easily taken apart. There's a lot of, pins in place, sort of rivet type things to secure all the parts. So one thing I may look into is getting one of those chrome paint pens and just touching all of this up. Maybe getting some metallic blue to do the seat again, because it would be nice to have my childhood original looking as good as this one. So this was, I guess it's model K47. I'm not sure if there were other models similar to this. I'll need to do a bit more research on that, because this is definitely something I would like to have more of. It's just a wonderful throwback in time. It's just a pity that I didn't have the figure with mine, but now I have one, so I'm over the moon to have a complete K47 Speed Kings. Fantastic toy, and I'd be interested to know if anyone else out there had one of these, because it's hard to sort of put into words, but just holding it just brings back some fantastic memories. And just to have this one complete now in my hand is just it's an absolute joy. I mean, I know it's a really simple toy. There's no electronics, there's no fancy lights or anything. It's just as basic as it gets, but it's just so much fun. So yeah, this was the K47 Speed Kings from Matchbox. So that was the K47 Speed King from Matchbox, and I hope you enjoyed that little review there. And maybe you had it as a child, maybe it brought back some good memories, I hope so. So anyway, I want to say thank you for watching, and a real special thanks goes out to the Patreons who support this channel. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.